Hello and welcome to MCOP 2175, Best Practices for Optimizing Your Hybrid and Multi-Cloud Environment. My name is Mike Giacometti and I'm a Senior Product Manager here at VMware. And I'm joined by Sarah Lucas, the Head of Platforms and Infrastructure at William Hill. Cloud Health has been a member of the VMware family for almost 2 years now. And in this session, we're going to share with you the best practices for managing your hybrid cloud environment. Please note, this presentation is for informational purposes only. I'll leave this up for a moment before we dive in. To get started, let's talk about the new organizational challenge we are seeing take shape. As enterprises adopt hybrid and multi-cloud, they will face this complexity. The idea of cloud is to give more control to the users of hybrid and public cloud services. You can see those users depicted in the second row here, rather than having centralized IT control. But with that new power comes a greater responsibility. The role of IT in a hybrid and multi-cloud world is to empower the organizational leaders, depicted in the top row here, with visibility into how those users are using the cloud resources. In addition, you need to collaborate and communicate more effectively so that the organization as a whole can optimize their use of all the different cloud services they might be leveraging. And enterprises have evolved to where they are now supporting both centralized and decentralized IT resources. They might operate a data center footprint and also make use of one or more public cloud services, perhaps across many different cloud providers. Data center resources are the domain of infrastructure and operations teams that deliver and control everything. And the data center I&O teams require tools that cover configuration, provisioning, automation, capacity planning, and governance for all of those data center assets. Those environments are very CapEx intensive, and costs generally are pretty stable and predictable. But in the public multi-cloud world, developers and lines of business users provision the resources directly themselves. It's very OpEx intensive, and resource usage can be wildly dynamic and sometimes unpredictable. The management disciplines needed for cloud-centric, decentralized IT include ways to govern usage, optimize costs, and deal with cloud security threats and vulnerabilities. Most of you likely have a hybrid approach that includes both to reflect your environment, that reflects your environment. For many reasons, including things such as compliance, security, or criticality, IT will exert centralized control of infrastructure or service provisioning, whether in the cloud or in the data center. However, for the bulk of cloud applications and workloads, whether public or private or hybrid, IT can be more democratic and give users more autonomy by providing guardrails to govern that usage, that consumption. Regardless of how democratic your IT model is, Cloud Health and the VMware vRealize suite provides all the different constituents with the management capabilities they need to move fast, to work together, and to make sure you can move at the speed of cloud. So the big question, how do we manage hybrid and public cloud resources consistently? Well, there's two things that we're going to cover today. The first of which, adapt your organization. And the second, make sure you're using the right tools to get the job done. So let's talk about adaptation. Collaboration and coordination is critical, and every organization needs a cloud center of excellence. A cloud center of excellence, also known as a CCOE, you might have heard this also as a cloud business office, cloud strategy office, cloud program office. It's a cross-functional working group that is tasked with supporting and governing the execution of an organization's cloud strategy. A CCOE facilitates collaboration and adoption of best practices across a range of disciplines, most commonly around operations, finance, security, engineering, and enterprise architecture. It's a pragmatic way to bring centralized management to a decentralized IT delivery model. VMware's multi-cloud management capabilities are the #1 in hybrid and public cloud management. Cloud Health and the VMware vRealize suite provide all the different constituents with the management capabilities they need to be able to move at the speed of cloud. And with that, I'd like to hand things over to Sarah Lucas, Head of Platforms and Infrastructure at William Hill. She's going to share with us their hybrid cloud journey. Sarah, take it away.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lucas and I'm Head of Platforms and Infrastructure at William Hill. I lead our teams who manage the infrastructure, cloud, network and unified comms platforms across EMEA. I also head up our cloud migration program and data center strategy. Let's start with some background. William Hill started out in 1934 as a postal and telephony betting service. That was the technology of the day. In 1966, the first William Hill betting shop opened, and since then we've gone from strength to strength, changing and moving with the times. We were the first bookmaker to launch online betting, and in 1998 we were also internet casino pioneers. We've been there from the start. We now employ over 12,000 people across the globe. We have offices all around the world and shops in the UK. With our free app and online services, anyone, anywhere can have a flutter at the touch of a button. We give our customers what they expect from a trusted brand. So as a company, we've always been powered by the latest technology, offering customers a range of digital interactions with our brand across retail and online. We're now almost unrecognisable from the telephony betting service of the 1930s. On a typical Saturday, we have over 100,000 users logging on, generating almost 6,000 gaming and trading related transactions per second. That's a real technology challenge. Our peak day is Grand National, the flagship horse race in the Aintree Festival, one of the most famous horse races in the world. With over 25,000 bets per minute and over 7,000 financial transactions per second, our peak occurs within an 8-hour window. That eclipses PayPal's peak transactions per second on Cyber Monday. It's a huge day and we need to be confident in our technology. From the overview, you can see we have a complex and highly transactional business. You can also add to that a high amount of growth in new markets. The US government has repealed the PASPA regulations, and we are now successfully growing our US business from our foundations in Vegas and Atlantic City, and have recently purchased Mr. Green to add to our online casino portfolio. To continue to support our business goals, we needed to move away from our traditional infrastructure approach. Developer teams were becoming frustrated, manual processes were slowing change management, and the cost of additional capacity was becoming too large an overhead. With at least 30 products being added or changed each month and a huge team of developers, our monolithic environment was becoming a significant issue. Change was clearly needed. Initially, we made changes to our on-premise data centers through the adoption of hyperconverged infrastructure and containers. This approach allowed our developers to build apps and put them into production extremely rapidly. Initially, we upgraded our infrastructure to HCI and our networking technology to NSXT. Developers could create one development plan which covered all aspects, including firewall rules and load balancing. This moved us forward. We could absorb new acquisitions quicker, launch in new markets, and roll out new digital products to customers faster. Under the previous system, where it might have taken 6 weeks to put the infrastructure in place to support a new development project, the required infrastructure could be in place in hours. The solution delivered ongoing cost and resource savings. There was less bureaucracy involved in managing the environment and cost avoidance on the procurement of new blade and storage chassis. The journey towards quicker, more efficient delivery had commenced, but this still required investment in our on-premise data centres, and we determined it hadn't gone far enough towards delivering our elastic scale and usage on demand aspirations. We decided it was time to commence our journey to the cloud. It seems today that almost every business is on a multi-cloud journey. This is the largest macro trend in the cloud market today and encapsulates encapsulates a complex set of technologies, solutions, customers of cloud services and priorities. Cloud is empowering us all to re-examine our core business processes, including how we are generating revenue and building market differentiation and engaging with our customers. It's the same for our organisation. Multi-cloud will become our reality over time, based on ongoing adoption of cloud services through a process of best fit for our applications. We need to be able to take advantage of services across multiple clouds while deploying a set of consistent operations that optimises those services and minimises the diversity that naturally exists between these service provider environments, and we're not quite there yet. We have identified the steps required to achieve a multi-cloud strategy: security automation across environments, the ability to properly manage costs, migration tools and core issues related to interoperability, compliance and governance. And we will complete these over the next 2 years as part of our overall transformational goal. For the moment, hybrid cloud is our reality. The multi-cloud world remains an ambition and one with great promise, but multiple tangible challenges. On the journey to multi-cloud, we had a choice to make between a hybrid cloud strategy and a multi-cloud strategy. Either path would be driven by specific needs within our enterprise and be based upon distinct priorities and goals. Currently, our position is this: our overarching goal is to reduce the scale of our on-premise data centres and add the ability to scale on demand and reach our customers faster with new products. We are working in a market full of constraints, which isn't making our journey easy. We have regulatory requirements to keep some of our applications and services within certain jurisdictions on-premise, and our data centre strategy addresses this. Hybrid cloud gives us an extension to the data centre that allows us the flexibility to support our business-critical applications, to rapidly migrate to the cloud, to leverage the cloud for on-demand scale, and extend the core processes required to support our applications and infrastructure. Our hybrid cloud journey is focused on creating a single set of resources that are both integrated and interoperable. Based on consistent infrastructure and consistent operations, our hybrid cloud architecture spans our private and public cloud. To implement this, we have chosen VMware Cloud on AWS. This has many advantages. We can utilise our current infrastructure and engineering team for the migration without the need to embark on a mass retraining programme. The teams are being trained in native technologies, but this is being done at a more relaxed pace. It allows us to migrate at pace. Using vMotion capabilities, we can move to the cloud quickly. Importantly, we can also move workloads back from the cloud should they prove too costly. These can then be re-engineered on-premise or considered for refactoring and moving to native cloud. We can engineer elements of the product across native, for example, databases in AWS and the app stack on VMC. Component re-engineering makes migration of legacy applications more efficient. This is an infrastructure-led investment where the challenge is to overcome the long-standing silos of resources that have existed between the data centre and the cloud. Our hybrid cloud provides integrated and interoperable infrastructure across our environments. This provides rapid portability of applications that minimise the cost and complexity of managing applications. We are providing operational consistency for infrastructure and applications across these environments. Our hybrid cloud strategy attempts to balance the needs of greater velocity and agility of the business with the operational integrity that minimises the complexity and risk that accompanies increased diversification. We view the data centre and the cloud as part of a single strategy, leveraging pools of resources from multiple sources, unified by a common model for how they are accessed and governed. What's important is not where the resources lie, but the architecture on which it is built. We wanted the flexibility to access the best services to power our applications, without having to make trade-offs or compromises because of how the environments are built or where they are operating. For all new applications, we have a cloud-first strategy. This is the backbone of our native cloud journey, focusing on enabling flexibility of working with multiple public cloud environments, enabling scale, time to market and on-demand services, core to cloud computing without introducing complexity and risk to the enterprise. We have a foundation built in AWS for our native applications and have successfully migrated production-facing applications to this platform. I've outlined what we're doing to support our application requirements, pursuing clear and consistent initiatives. In summary, we are modernising and rationalising our data centre, continuing to enhance the efficiency of existing on-premise environments. We're running our data centres as efficiently and effectively as possible, increasing automation and creating a foundation on-premise that is part of our overall cloud strategy, while leveraging existing resources, teams and skills. A modernised data centre is interoperable and consistent with the infrastructure available from public cloud service providers. Extending services to the cloud, we're driving workloads to the cloud through migration strategies, consolidating data centres and shifting to the cloud from the data centre using VMware Cloud on AWS. We're also developing for the cloud, building new applications directly in AWS, taking advantage of specific cloud services and capabilities unavailable in the traditional data centre. We're empowering developers with tools, services and building blocks that deliver native cloud applications on-premise and in the public cloud, speeding up time to market for new services that differentiate our business. A word of caution here. Once you have made the decision to start, you have to stick with it. Developing for on-premise can no longer be an option. This will only elongate the depreciation of the on-premise data centres and incur greater cost. It will also give those teams the feeling of being left behind. You do not need a demotivated team at this point in your journey. We're also delivering SaaS applications, replacing traditional applications with SaaS options for greater access by employees using any device, anytime, anywhere. Our hybrid and native journeys exist in parallel, forming our multi-cloud foundation. They have complementary priorities driven by a diverse set of teams and interests, with unique challenges and opportunities. The impact of cloud is undeniable to both the business and to tech. Cloud is transforming the way our applications are built, run, managed and delivered. Cloud is providing a new level of agility for IT, forever evolving how IT operates. But it's not an easy path to walk. Now we'll look at some of the challenges we face and how you can avoid them, or at least prepare to face into them with your organisation. How well do you really know your organisation and technology stack? Before you start this journey, take some time to work out where you are really starting from. Rely on real data, not tribal assumptions. We tend to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt and present a better picture than reality. You wouldn't lie to your doctor, don't do it here. Your cloud migration will impact all areas of the business. Now is the time to reach out and build alliances with those teams. Take time to explain the benefits of your migration and what it's going to bring to those teams from their perspective. For the finance teams, they will be able to get granular cost information based on real-time information, improved return on investment calculations at the product level. Our finance team have been awesome and are working with us as part of our extended team. For the HR team, explain how the use of new technology and the ability to innovate quickly will attract new talent to your organisation. Know your legal and compliance position. We work across multiple geographies in highly regulated industry. This was key for us. Know your estate. Gather the data, turn the rocks over and get a real picture of your estate. Do you still have a mainframe? We do. Do you have services running under someone's desk? Build your migration plan based on data. The most important piece of your migration puzzle is the people. Technology is really the easy part here. Taking your teams with you will make or break the success of your migration journey. Start early and communicate, and then communicate some more. Change is the big challenge for your people. Everyone has a different view of change and will start from a different place on the change curve. For some, this will be what they've been waiting for, working with the latest technology and learning new skills. But for others, there'll be a real concern, even a fear of change, and you will need to consider that. Teams will also have their own ideas of what a successful migration looks like. For us, some favoured a move directly to AWS native. Some like the hybrid model. Some thought Google or Azure might offer us more. Due to the complexity of our estate and some of our commercial timeframes and technical complexities, a balance of hybrid cloud using VMC and new services going to AWS native makes most sense. Not all teams are affected by these issues, so at first didn't see the solutions in the same way. We didn't communicate enough. But we recognised that we hadn't got our communication strategy quite right and course corrected as we moved forward. You will learn a lot about your business during this time. Be prepared to course correct as you go. Where you can, make learning fun. Game days are a great way to do this and have the teams learn in a safe environment. It's a great team builder too. Processes and governance routines need to change too, and while this isn't the most exciting part of any programme, don't underestimate its importance to your success. Wherever you are introducing new processes, take time to ensure they are repeatable and scalable. Be clear about how roles and responsibilities will change in your new world, or, if you can't do that right now, be clear on the fact that change is coming. Provide space for teams to learn the new skills and try, where possible, to convert this to real-world work soon afterwards. Then expect some failure. In this time of change, where everything is new, failure is inevitable. Create an environment where it's okay to fail as long as you learn. A safe environment is key to avoid withdrawal from the process. Fail, learn, and move forwards. Measure what matters to you and publicise your successes along the way. Little wins contribute to big success, and your people will want to be part of a successful story. Okay, so we've covered our start points, our goals, and our vision for the future, and the changes we made along the way. Whether we are in our data centres, internal cloud, hybrid cloud, or AWS, we have adopted the well-architectured framework pillars principle across our organisation and environments. Our teams are focused on operational excellence and delivering business value across our environments. Our data centre operations team supports some of our key revenue-generating services and are pushing for change with automation, improved monitoring capabilities, as well as managing our day-to-day operations. Security is key, and best practice is built in by design across our environments and geographies. Reliability and performance keep our products in the hands of our customers 24/7, which leaves us with cost management, the final frontier of cloud management. This is the real business test of the cloud. Does it make the savings that you were expecting, that you were sold on? Let's take a look at how we've approached this at William Hill. One of the areas I wanted to get right from the start was the financial management, not least because I started my career in accountancy, not tech, so there was some professional pride at stake here. We chose Cloud Health as our management tool of choice. It wasn't a VMware product at the time of selection, but VMware's purchase of Cloud Health aligned with the signing of our enterprise agreement, so we made it work for us. Data is the intelligence by which your business makes its strategic decisions. It needs to be easily accessible and tailored so that you can get the information at the right level of detail you need. We found that for us, AWS Console didn't give us the features and flexibility that we needed. It does have its place within our financial management tools portfolio, but we needed something more. Plus, of course, AWS Console only gives you information on your AWS cloud costs, and we're running multiple environments. Cloud Health gives us a single view of these costs, which is becoming more and more useful as we split our products and environments across our clouds. One of our programme aims is to increase the level of Cloud IQ across all our business teams. We are training all our tech leads and product owners in Cloud Health so they can better understand the cost of their products and the cost of the decisions that they have made or are about to make. This is a huge shift from our previous central view of costs, the big blob of CapEx sat on the balance sheet. The collaboration with our Cloud Health team has been excellent from the start. The team have worked with us at different stages in our cloud journey and helped us to identify patterns and best practice for maturity. Cloud Health's maturity framework, financial management, operations and security and compliance aligns nicely with the pillars of the well-architected framework, so builds to support our overall strategy. We started with visibility. For the first time, we have unit costs for our service. We are now able to predict and forecast costs and, importantly, to see where our savings opportunities are. We have used both Cloud Health and console data to enact and track savings plans to ensure we're optimising costs for our business as we move through our migration journey. As we continue, Cloud Health will help our teams identify time savings due to operational efficiency improvements or tightening security parameters. Cloud Health is helping us define the ideal state so we can monitor when drift occurs. Similar to setting up policies within our environments, once governance policies are established, the next step is to automate the response and remediation of these policies, freeing up our colleagues' time for more strategic tasks. So that's been a brief walkthrough of our journey. Yours may be similar or more or less complex. What is true for us is the majority of us, the traditional silos of data centres and public clouds are giving way to a more unified hybrid cloud model with high levels of interoperability and common models for management and operation. Cloud is helping us all to drive innovation in new ways. Looking ahead, our organisation will aim to leverage services from multiple cloud providers as part of a multi-cloud solution. However, while the promise of this remains high, access to innovation from multiple sources, the flexibility to match the needs of the applications to any cloud, and broad geographic coverage, significant challenges exist before we're able to realise the full potential of a well thought out cloud strategy. Perhaps most importantly for us, right now, cloud is forging a stronger, more effective bond between IT and the business, enhancing the way we compete and differentiate ourselves through our services, making our business operations more efficient and making our colleagues more effective in the way they serve our customers. And that can only be a positive. Thank you very much for spending time with us today. I hope you found the session useful. Good luck to those of you starting out on your journey, or those of you who are already partway through. Keep your destination in mind and keep going.
One last thing before you all go, please be sure to fill out our survey. We'd love to hear feedback on what you guys thought of the session and how it all went. Hope you enjoy the rest of VMworld. Thank you.